From Roanoke to the Public Hospital of Williamsburg. Here are your top 10 terrifying places in West Virginia you should never visit. In our number 10 spot, we have Roanoke, West Virginia. In a place called Roanoke in West Virginia, there is a legend that has pretty much scared the crap out of the married men in that town. What is this legend? Well, as the story goes, apparently in 1902, over the course of a week, many married men came across a woman in black. And this woman followed these men back to their homes and then disappeared when they got inside. In some of the stories around this woman, it is said that she did this due to the men being unfaithful, and some of the stories say that it was to prove that the men would be unfaithful. All of these men were of different backgrounds and social statuses. All they had in common was that they were married, and they all had described the same event. Apparently though, after a week, the woman was gone from this town. But then in a town nearby, there were reports of seeing her. In our number 9 spot, we have the Peyton Randolf House. The Peyton Randolf House is located in Williamsburg. So many mysterious things seemingly happen here, and people believe it to be as a result of all of the death that has occurred there. The legend goes that an unnamed female slave cursed the house before she died, and since then there have been too many deaths to count, from a Civil War soldier to a young boy who fell out of a tree to a young girl who fell from a window to 2 men who were fatally hurt during a fight. People believe the property to have a poltergeist, and there have been many reports of ghostly laughing, singing, glass breaking, people being touched, pushed, and even a security guard has said he was held down with extreme force. Yeah, best not to visit this place just to be safe. In our number 8 spot, we have the cursed tree. In Jamestown, there is a legend of a cursed tree. Apparently there once was a girl named Sarah Harrison who was engaged, but then broke off her engagement when she met a man named James Blair, whom she then ended up marrying. This upset her parents very much so, because he did not come from much money and he was also much older. When both Sarah and James died shortly after they were married, they were buried together, but not too long after, a strange thing happened. A tree began to grow and the roots separated their graves. People now believe that this was an act by her mother to separate them for eternity, but of course, this is just a theory. In our number 7 spot, we have the Avenel House. This is a house in West Virginia that is open to paranormal teams for investigation. That's how haunted it is. There have been many people that have claimed to have captured EVPs in this house, which are electronic voice phenomena. So cool! People have confirmed hearing a cat meowing, seeing an orb that looks like an eye, smelling tobacco when no one's around, feeling dizzy, and hearing many strange noises. People have also reported seeing a phantom lady in white floating down the halls or in the garden with a parasol in her hand. Sounds like a pretty classy ghost. In our number 6 spot, we have Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. The Lake Shawnee Amusement Park has such a dark history that you should only visit it if you have extreme caution and are also looking to be spooked. There were quite a few people that lost their lives while the park was active from 1926 to 1966. In fact, it was because of these deaths that the park gained such a poor reputation and then ended up closing. It has also been said that the park used to be a Native American burial ground, and so it is believed that a lot of ghosts haunt this park because of it. Makes sense. If this ground was once a holy place where bodies were buried, I mean, that is just super sad that it was eventually turned into an amusement park. If I were one of the spirits of these bodies, I would definitely be haunting every person in that park. In our number 5 spot, we have 22 Mine Road. Apparently West Virginia has a haunted road. Damn, West Virginia is seemingly filled with a lot of dark and haunted places. Allegedly in 1932, there was a woman by the name of Mammy Thurman who was killed, and her body was thrown out and left on this road, 22 Mine Road. A man that is said to have been an illiterate handyman was charged with the crime, even though many believed that the real guy that was guilty of the crime was never found. No one quite knows where she was buried, but they say that her ghost haunts this road. In our number 4 spot, we have Shepherdstown. There is a town in West Virginia called Shepherdstown that is supposed to be very haunted. It's an old Civil War town though, so Makes sense. Probably every place on this planet that has had a war near it or by it is most likely haunted. Anyways, this town is very known for its ghost tours, which is kind of fun. Many visitors have seen strange phenomena, so they might as well capitalize it. Okay, honestly, I know the title of this video says terrifying, but truly, this one actually seems kind of fun and interesting to visit. I don't know, I'm kinda in the Halloween spirit though, so that might be contributing towards my impression of this town. In our number 3 spot, we have St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford. St. Albans Sanatorium, located in Radford, has a long history of brutality. There once was a horrible massacre there where the Shawnee Indians took the lives of many of the settlers in the 1700s and took the survivors back to their village. A part of the Civil War was also there, so to say that this place has low vibes could be an understatement. The grounds were originally made to be a boys' home in 1892 and specifically for tough, out-of-control boys. Many of the boys ended up taking their own lives on the campus. It was then bought by a doctor who apparently gave very harsh psychiatric treatments in the 1900s. Many people report not only seeing ghosts at this place but also hearing voices, getting touched, etc. Apparently there is a room with a bowling alley, which is kind of fascinating, and anyways, this place is said to have a woman ghost that is forever bowling? I'm just joking, I wish. Well, she is said to be roaming this room, so I bet you she bowls when no one's around. In our number 2 spot, we have the Public Hospital of Williamsburg. The Public Hospital of Williamsburg is now an art museum in West Virginia, and it is one of those places that people say gives you the creeps. It was one of the first mental hospitals in America, and so as you can imagine, many souls have walked through its doors. Apparently, it wasn't kept very well for the patients, and they were also treated pretty badly. People believe that is why it is very much haunted nowadays. At one point, there was supposedly a doctor who was trying to make a change in the hospital for the better and improve the lives of his patients, but then he ended up taking his own life. Many have reported seeing his ghost on the grounds as well as past patient ghosts. A lot of people speak about feeling watched while touring the hospital and that it exudes bad vibes. Well, that's terrifying and possibly a fun Halloween experience all in one. In our number 1 spot, we have the West Virginia State Penitentiary. Well, I saved this one for last because pretty much everyone knows about this famous prison and I wanted some of the other lesser known locations to shine first. In case you don't know about this prison, this is one of the most brutal prisons that ever existed. It was active between 1876 to 1995, and while it was active, prisoners experienced fatal beatings as well as so much violence and had their life taken by electrocution and hanging. There were many riots inside the prison and many protests outside of the prison to have it shut down due to the inhumane acts against the prisoners. It is said to be extremely haunted by those that lost their lives there. I'm Melissa Malati, your host, and say it with me, I hope you have a good day, sir.